We're going to go over to Newaygo County right now.
Run up to Frankenmuth, Michigan.
But we're going to run down to Birmingham right now, Birmingham,
We're
Michigan.
up at Northwood University. And
Go over to South Haven, Ypsilanti, Eastern Michigan University.
You'll be hearing us from all over the place, but that's the beauty of this broadcast.
Now, from the studios in downtown Lansing, it's Chris Holman's Business Beat.
And that movement around the state is the beauty of this broadcast. But today we are in our studios downtown Lansing, and we're very fortunate to have with us Caitlin Lindstrom. She's Leap's Marketing Content Manager. Boy, I wish I knew what that is. Caitlin, welcome to the studio. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
Good. It's good to have you here. And of course, this is the VIP for one of our favorite places, CAMWA, the Capillary Michigan Works. So you guys are great partners for CAMWA. And we wanted to tell your story, but I think more than anything, people probably want to hear what the heck, goes on in your neck of the world, because a lot of people really don't understand it. So how do businesses with little to no social media presence grow their social media?
Yeah. So in my role at Leap, it's kind of my job to manage our digital presence. So it's a big thing that I do. If a business has little to no social media presence and is looking to grow that and kind of meet especially younger professionals where they are, because we live an increasing share of our lives online, there are several things you can do. The best thing to start with is conducting an audit of any presence that you already have to identify what you're doing well and what you want to be doing better. Kind of understanding where your capacity is and what you're already doing is important to understand where you want to go next. So from there, once you identify things that you're doing well that you want to keep doing, identifying opportunities for growth. So whether that's content campaigns, whether that's just like increasing frequency, there are lots of things you can do. It's also important to understand your audience. So knowing who you intend to reach with your content, whether that's current prospective employees, membership, organizational peers, that really drives the messaging that is relevant to the people that you're meeting, and it has a better chance of resonating with that audience. So in addition to auditing your own presence, conducting research into competitors, conducting research into your audience and the types of content they're looking for, what their expectations are from social media is super important. So it's also important to evaluate organizational resources. So you can have all of these great ideas for content, but if you have, like one marketing person and an unpaid intern, you're not probably going to be able to implement every single thing you want to. At Leap, we have our Vice President of Marketing, Victoria, and myself, and we both have pretty high capacity and understanding of digital spaces. We're still really limited by the simple fact of capacity, what we can accomplish, and just the hours given in a day.
Yeah.
So kind of looking at where you want to be and realistically what makes sense with the capacity that you have helps you decide which pieces of what you want to do you focus on first.
Kind of prioritize to make sure you maximize, right?
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Yep.
Okay, one of the major challenges to your members at Leap and Leap in general are getting people. So how do we use this system to go out there and get more people?
Yeah. So the biggest thing with social media and the biggest benefit is that, like I mentioned, that's where people already are. So especially if you're looking to attract younger professionals, they're already on digital spaces. That's where they're conducting most of their research, whether they're looking at your website, whether they're looking at your social media, that's where they want to see you. And the nice thing about social media, especially from a capacity and budget standpoint, it's fast, it's easy, and it's cheap. So one of the biggest things to do if you're looking to attract people is just up your presence on social media. So if you have a Facebook and you're posting like once a month, maybe try to up that to posting once a week, once every couple weeks, or once a couple of times a week. Like getting on Twitter, kind of evaluating where your audience is and what platforms you can maybe add.
Don't look stale.
Right, exactly. Right? So one of the worst things that a company can do is get themselves on a bunch of different platforms when they only have capacity to really post on a couple.
Yeah.
So having a stale social media presence, having one that's non-existent or doesn't seem like it's being well groomed is almost worse. It kind of affects the perception of the reputation of an organization if you have an account but you're not really utilizing it. Another great opportunity with social media is that it's a place where businesses can kind of let their hair down and show a little bit more of the personal side of a company. It's a great place for building kind of like the narrative of company culture, of showing employees, of showing things that are fun consistently on our social media, the posts that tend to perform the best are when we're posting about birthdays, when we're posting about employee bonding days, things that show the people behind the organization and the work it's doing.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, that put the culture out there too.
Yes.
And let's go to the other side of the schedule, which is the job seeker.
Mm-hmm.
What do you recommend with them?
So there's no one size fits all answer. I always recommend having a LinkedIn that's up to date. That really gives employers a snapshot of who you are professionally, and it gives you some insight into who you are personally as well. And then from there, kind of like with businesses, making educated assessments about what platforms make sense for you. As someone who's in the digital marketing space, I have a lot of different social media platforms that I try to keep pretty up to date and I post on frequently. If that's not your area of expertise, maybe just having a LinkedIn and like a Twitter to follow industry trends, to follow news, and just show that you're out there paying attention is really important, because that reputational perception goes both ways. With a business that's not posting frequently, that doesn't exist online, that's not great for a job seeker. With a job seeker who doesn't exist online, maybe not so great for the business when they're trying to figure out who this person is.
Yeah, it's tricky business, and we're glad people like you, Kate Lindstrom. LEAPS, that's Lansing Economic Area Partnerships Marketing Content Manager. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate the tips.
Thank you so much.
We're going to be right back on the Michigan Business Beat. I'm Chris Holman on the Michigan Business Network.